Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right. When you came to me, oh I knew it's you, yeah, boy.
Hey family, how's you guys doing? Let's see what's going on here. Let me see. Let me turn off some devices here because they're messing with my speaking. Okay, so family. So I got off work. Good morning, Pink Love. How are you? Good morning. Margie Sanja is in the building. We got Lisa Taylor in here. She's been following this case. And Paula, how are you doing? How are you doing? So you guys, I wanted to come on early this morning because it just happened. Well, they're just now reporting about it. I want to give it to you guys before stuff hit the fan. So we've been following the case about the little boy that's in New York, in the Bronx area. He was allegedly going to this daycare for about a week, but he's overdosed on fentanyl where they were making it, or some people say it was a store. It was a front for to sell drugs, the daycare. But and so we're getting down to the nitty gritty of it. Hey Gloria, good morning to you. And I usually don't come on this early in the morning, but I wanted to share with you guys what just happened. Okay, so my time is 8:24. The time that they put this out was today at 7:52. So you guys are the first ones that's getting this. It says the third, let me read it to you, okay? I'm going to read it to you. It says the third arrest has been made in connection with suspected fentanyl overdose death of a 1-year-old boy at Bronx Daycare Center. Okay? We're not going to stay on here long. I just want to give you some tea for this morning or get your coffee. It says a third person has been arrested and charged in connection with the death of a 1-year-old boy who was exposed to the highly potent drug fentanyl at a Bronx daycare where large quantities of narcotics were stored under a trap floor in a room where children played and slept, according to the federal prosecutors. Okay? The authorities identified the man, my thing keeps, as Rennie. So his name is Rennie Antonio Paradis. So his name is Rennie Antonio Paradis. He's 38 years of age and charged him Monday. So they charged him yesterday in U.S. District Court in Manhattan. My phone keeps clicking off. I need to probably plug it up. Where's my? I don't know why it does that. It says it will do what it wants to do. But I'll fix that in just 1 second so it quit doing it. Because I worked all night long. And it's just going to do what it wants to do. Okay, so here we go. So they charged him Monday in U.S. District Court in Manhattan with 1 count of conspiracy to distribute narcotics resulting in the death. Okay. While a third person is now in custody, law enforcement officials are still looking for the husband of one of the arrest co-conspirators. Okay, you guys, we know that they were looking for the husband. So this third person that they have arrested is not the husband. I know everybody's sitting there talking about, yeah, they got the husband. No, this is not the husband. This is a third person. Now, I'm going to read what it says, and you guys can go look up all the information that you can. She said, bring them charges. Make sure they stick. Today's arrest is one more step towards obtaining justice for the child victim of this horrendous offense and their family, U.S. attorneys for the Southern District of New York. 1-year-old Nicholas died after the suspected fentanyl exposure earlier this month at Divino Nino daycare. 3 other children, 2-year-old boy and an 8-month-old girl, were hospitalized after being exposed to the suspected fentanyl and suffered acute opioid intoxication. So Paradis, that's his name, Paradis. His name is Antonio Paradis, who was arrested Saturday. So they arrested him Saturday and they charged him Monday. You guys, they are moving quick. They arrested this man Saturday in an apartment in the Bronx, allegedly conspired to distribute fentanyl, including at the daycare center, from at least July of 2023. Paradis and his alleged co-conspirators, Gray Mendez and Carlisto Alvido, stored the drugs at the daycare, including a kilo of fentanyl on children's play mats, according to the criminal complaint. They also kept the drugs and materials to package the narcotics in hidden compartments known as traps in the room where children played and slept, according to the complaint. Those distributing materials included glass-ins envelopes with the words Red Dawn on them, stamped on the front, according to the complaint. So they knew where those drugs came from because they put Red Dawn on the, what the clear little plastic packages look like, you guys. So if you seen Red Dawn, they was part of that, where that came from. Anyway, investigators were able to trace phone calls and text messages from Mendez's and Brento's that led them to Paradis, according to the complaint. So they're not saying somebody talked. They're saying that the phone calls and the text messages led them to Paradis. That's why people, they just talk too much. They be like on the phone, calling and texting. Girl, please. When investigators went into the apartment to arrest Paredes, they found a shopping bag loaded with tools needed to distribute narcotics, including strainers, tape, plastic bag, digital scales, and more glass-in envelopes with Red Dawn stamped on the front. Investigators said after some more digging, investigators found the stamp itself, according to the complaint. Investigators believe the suspects were medieval drug distributors tasked with cutting fentanyl with other drugs or household items, including baby powder, a federal law enforcement officers told. Paredes had an instrumental role in the conspiracy and in connection with Nicholas' death and the exposure of the three other children in the drug. DEA special agent in charge said in a statement, traffickers often hide contraband in inconspicuous or unsuspected locations with no regards for the safety of others. In this case, the daycare floorboards were used as concealment, putting children's lives at risk who innocently sat on the floor to play. Paredes faces a mandatory minimum sentence of, they said the minimum sentence for him is 20 years and a maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted, officers said. Man. Hey, Red Dawn, like dishwasher liquid. Jesus. The phone tells it every time. Yeah. She said, I'm glad neighborhood knows. Yeah. You know what? You guys, I'm telling you, we're just going to watch this anytime that they come up with any new information. You guys, I'm going to make sure that you guys know, hey, I told you what I believe. I'm not going to speak on it anymore because I could speak on it 200 times or 20 times a day. Doesn't make it become what it is. But as it just unfold, you guys will learn something. If you had any doubt in your mind, or you thought, maybe this woman didn't know when she took her kid. Now, the information that I gave you today doesn't have anything to do with that. That's just information that you always need to know, as much information as possible. Ain't got nothing to do with did the mama know or not know. That's beside the point. We're gonna get to that to the end. Because I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna take a while because ain't nobody talking. But the number one thing that we learned yesterday, now just take in consideration all the stuff we learned. We learned that just 2 years prior to this, that Gray Mendez, her child had an overdose of fentanyl and the cops wasn't called. Just 2 years ago. We know that she's divorced. She's a divorcee. She came to the United States just so she could be in the United States. She swindled a guy to marry her, and she didn't even care about him. Okay? Now they got 2 men and a woman. Okay? They still haven't found her husband, but they said yesterday, we was reading it, and they were going over to the DR, Dominican Republic, looking for him. So that's weird because they want him bad. I'm going to tell you guys something. If you think that we was not going to probably get to the bottom of this, I can guarantee you we are. The reason why, this is why I believe we're going to get some answers. We're going to get answers for number one. You've got 3 suspects now, not one. Because, if you got one suspect, they can either tell or not tell on themselves. Get scared enough and tell, or talk too much or told somebody something. Have you ever done something wrong and you want to tell somebody, but you be like, I ain't telling nobody. I have. I'm going to just be honest with you. It ain't been too long ago either. I'd be like, I ain't going to tell my kids. I ain't going to tell my husband. I ain't going to tell my best friend. I'm going to just keep that to myself. Hope everything work out all right, because I'm not going to tell on myself. Now, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like I tried to do it or whatever, but it happened. And when it happened, it happens, But anyway, my mother would always say, when you go out and you do something wrong, and you know you're doing something wrong, go by yourself. When you have other people, that's terrible. It's good for us that there's other people, but that way you're going to come and get the truth. You're going to get the truth. I'm just being honest with you. Now, it's different if one is saying one thing and everybody's going to have a whole different story. But you got three people and they fighting for their life, I promise you, the first one talk, first one walk. Somebody's going to tell. Somebody's going to tell. And that's okay. It ain't going to bring Nicholas back, or they call him Nico. Ain't going to bring him back. But people have gotten comfortable doing what they're doing, and they got so shellacked that now a baby is gone. And I don't know about you guys, but even though that I haven't slept and I worked all night, this child was on my mind. Nothing I can do about it. I mean, I love kids, but I don't want no more. My husband said I can't. He's like, no. I can even adopt kids, you guys. I'm legal. I'm licensed to adopt kids. And my husband say no. And, and I'm in agreement with him. At first, I was like, he's going to have to come to grips with it because I want another child. I want to raise another baby, because all my kids got out the nest. But just looking at how the world is right now, I want to bring another kid in this world. I have to think and pray for them every day, all the time. I want to do. I think about my kids right now. I think about calling them and say, "Hey, you doing okay? How was your day?" And I might be a busy mama. I don't go pop up at their house and stuff unless they don't answer their phone after, 2 or 3 days. I will pop up. Yes, I will. I'm just being honest. That's just a concerned parent. But other than that, I just want to hear their voice or see their face. And even if they're having a bad day, sometimes I just be like, oh, well, you got yourself into that and get yourself out. But, there's nothing like, speaking to your child and knowing that they're trying to make it in this world. And whatever I can do to make it better for my kids, I guarantee you I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because, tomorrow's not promised for me or nobody else. I'm just saying, you guys. And I think about the mama, the way I think, the things I've said. You guys know what I said and what I believe. And it still doesn't change what I believe. But it's sad. It's just so sad that the baby didn't have to die, But I tell people all the time, it can't just happen to anybody. People like, oh, it could have happened to you. No, some things could have happened to me, but that couldn't have happened to me. First of all, I don't take my kids to to daycare centers like that anyway. I don't like big settings for daycare. I'm anal about, you know, these people now wanting to blow up places, this terror attacks and stuff. They want to blow up places where there's a lot of people, a lot of kids and stuff. So I won't take my kids to those places. I quit doing that alone. You ask my kids, did they ever go to a daycare where they got, all this stuff outside and jungle gyms and all that? No, they went to a home setting, a home. And this was a home setting. It was an apartment. But still, when I dropped my kids off, I never was just cool with that, dropping my kid off at that daycare. I was watching and looking and asking my kids questions, and I do that with my grandkids. You guys, I do. I do it with my grandkids. I be all in their business. What you doing? Oh, I'm playing football, Grandma. I said, oh, really? Who's your coach? What's their name? Have you been over to his house? Do he like you? Did you talk to him on the phone? Oh no, Grandma. Yeah, because see, I'm asking questions, but I'm not being like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not being weird about it. I'm gonna just let you guys know. I'm not being weird about it. Like, yeah, tell me this, tell me that. I just be talking. I say, now, if you wanted to practice, couldn't you call your coach and ask him to practice with you, just to see what my grandson say? Because they just found this coach. It was a school, and this coach was supposed to be helping this kid around about 14, 15 years of age. It was a boy and the male coach. And he took him to his house and he said, you want to work on your weight and your structure and all this other stuff and get faster? And the boy said, yes. Okay. You can look this up too. So he said, I got some weights and all this other stuff. And then he took him to his house. And he was telling the boy that he's got a license to massage, and he's a good massage therapist and this, that, and the other. So they got to the boy's house. I mean, not to the boy's house, but to the coach's house. And he told the boy to lay down, and he was massaging him. The boy was laying on his stomach. If you guys heard this already, just put a 1 in the chat. That way somebody will know I ain't lying. This just happened. So you guys will start seeing it. And he turned the boy around real quick and just start giving him a job, giving him a BJ. Okay? And the boy jumped up real quick. He went home and told his mama. But the boy didn't tell his mama all that happened. He just told his mama he touched him. You have to be careful for people. They're either going to kill you or they're going to harm you in some kind of way. And I'm going to tell you why these things happen. Because that spirit shifts. Most of the time, people that do stuff like that, because he literally raped that kid. Let's just put it like that. It's probably happened to him. And being at a young age, he didn't know what to do, or he didn't tell nobody. And now he wants, that's why people prey on kids. But anyway, that's another story on another day. You're right. You can't trust nobody. So always, hug your children, love on them, quit worrying about money, quit worrying about them grades, love on your kids. My grandson say, Nana, my English is not that good. I done moved up from a D to a barely a C. And I see you go, boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of him because he wants to play basketball and football so bad. He hanging in there. He ain't trying to get no D's and F's. So that's a good thing. But all I want to say, you guys, you know, if you take the lather of what I'm saying, because I said the mother knows. Some say the mother don't know. If she didn't know, this is very tragic to her. But I guarantee you now that we got 3 players and we're gonna have a 4th. They're gonna catch the guy. They're gonna catch him. They're gonna catch him. And I'm gonna tell you why they're gonna catch him, you guys. First of all, they had enough drugs. They could have wiped out New York. That's how much drugs they had. They said 1 kilo can take out 500,000 people. Now, they went back and found another 2 kilos there at the house. That means that's 1.5 million. Now, how many kilos did he take with him? Because, he didn't pick up his laundry and running down the alley. He took some with him, and he had 2 bags. And a kilo is as big as 2 Mountain Dew 24-ounce bottles. So he had weight in those bags. I guarantee you it's probably about 5 or 6 kilos in each bag. Think about it. And if 1 kilo can take out 500,000, and then they found 2 more kilos, that's 1.5 million. And then he took 5 kilos in this bag and 5 kilos in that bag. That's 10. That's 10. That's 5 more million people. That, guess what? Out of 5 million, I guarantee you 20-30% of them would have died over overdose. They wasn't probably selling that like, I don't know how much the stuff fentanyl go for or whatever. Probably $20, $30 for a pill or whatever. And you can, nibble on it and be high all day, whatever. But like I was telling y'all the other day, cops stop somebody and they have it and they come across it. Next thing you know, they pass out. They pass out. That's how strong it is. Just contact with it. That's not even touching it. That's just being in an open area in the same area. That's why I said, when I found that guy, I could have died myself. He could have had it on him and I didn't know what it was. I bet it's more people too, but I wanted you guys to know this. Like I said, I'm going to get off of here in 1 minute, you guys. That's all. I wanted you guys to know this. Look out for more information. We're going to come on. I'm going to make sure you guys know. Again, just to recap real quick, they have arrested a 3rd person. It is not the husband. It is a guy named Paradis. He's 38 years of age, and he is, I guess, in conspiracy with them. And they found out, they say, by the phones and text messages. And I guarantee you, if you deleted 21,000 messages, I guarantee you, those daycare workers, they gonna get a little time. And them mamas, they gonna tell on them. Somebody's gonna have to tell. Okay, somebody's gonna have to tell. Until next time, you guys, I'll see you guys later. And if you find out any information about this case, just send it to me. We'll come on live. We'll come on at the spur of the moment. We're watching this case. All right? And you're welcome. Bye.